friends, AJ here. So I garden in Maryland, Zone 7A, right outside of DC, probably about 30 minutes outside of DC. So the weather right now, it's very humid. We're in the upper 80s, probably 90 degrees at this point, not sure. But it's pretty humid. It is roughly 4:30 in the afternoon. And so the garden I'm about to go work in is called the West Side Garden. And as the name implies, it's getting a lot of western exposure. Actually, it's a southern western exposure. So we're right on that side wall of the house. It's pretty much baking. But hey, time is of essence, and this is the time I have allotted to work on this task. So let's head over to the garden and see what we're working with. So it's pretty noisy, guys. What I'm noticing, I mean, there's a lot of pollinators, a lot of bees. I'm also seeing wasps. Now I'm just hoping that there are no wasp nests inside this thicket. I mean, anything's possible when you have overgrown shrubs like this, but I don't know, maybe it'll be a better idea to come here at dusk, a little later on in the evening, when everything is kind of settled in and calmed down just a bit. Debating. I really just don't have the time. I mean, I gotta get this done. So perhaps what I'll do is I'll just work on one section at a time. So right now, I'll approach this climbing rose right here, the generous gardener, prune her down, remove that trellis right there. I know exactly where to put that. One of my melons need a trellis, so I'm going to use that. Cut her back and slowly progress in that direction. I think I see a lot of wasp activity underneath the red twig dogwood. So here goes. So like I said, these critters are not gonna like what I'm about to do. I'm about to totally disturb their habitat. So with this generous gardener rose, I'm gonna go ahead and take off all of the scraggly top growth and then look at the framework of the rose and try to maintain a vase shape. And also, if I can salvage any long canes that are shooting upwards towards this arbor, I'll go ahead and do so. So when pruning any rose, when pruning any shrub for that matter, you want to go in and remove anything that's dead, such as this right here. You can tell it's a pale ashy brown. Anything that's dead, damaged, or diseased, you want to get it out of there. The rest of this The rest of this lateral right here is damaged. So we'll go ahead and cut it off at this shoot right here. And just simply repeat the process. I mean, you know, this right here is clearly damaged. So I'm going to cut it all the way back to a healthy node and repeat. So here's the thing. If this rose wasn't as neglected as it is now, and, you know, it was a little more productive and it didn't have so many damaged or diseased canes, I'd just simply go through and give it a once over clip, once over shearing, and it'll reflush all along that area that I went ahead and sheared. In this instance, we're doing a little bit more reparative work. So because it's been neglected for so long, I need to go in and reshape it. And like I said earlier, remove a lot of the dead and damaged bits. Without getting stung. Because remind you, it's still feeding time for a lot of these insects as far as nectar is concerned. So I am kind of disturbing their situation here. You know, in pruning a wild rose, there's a lot of thinking involved sometimes. There's a lot of homework. What I mean by that is you see canes or laterals that you want to save because you think once everything is done, it'll attribute to the overall aesthetic of the rose. So that's what you see me doing here when I'm tucking this one away. I'm thinking I can definitely use this branch a little later. So this bundle right here that I was trying to save to go up the arbor, I'm going to inspect that and kind of clean it up, because as you guys can see, so right here, this cane, we can say this cane has made it. All right, this cane has made it up to the arbor, so it's just a matter of me cleaning it up and then trying to tie it somehow to the structure up top. So we get in here and cut back a lot of these tiny laterals, which will bloom for me later in the season. Some of them I'll just cut flush with that main cane because they're too damaged. If they're too damaged, then you just simply get rid of them. All right, let me go get my ladder. I totally forgot about using a ladder over here. All right, let's get up this ladder and see what I can get up top. This right here, this can probably wrap around. I can salvage that. This got borers, so I'll have to cut it back. See right here, that hole? I don't know what kind of insect it is, but they're boring through the shaft of that stem. And you cut back to a fresh area where there is no borer damage. All right. Let's see what else I'm working with on this long branch. We'll fuss with it the rest of the season, but I may have to cut it back early next spring. I mean, it's all right. It just doesn't look too hot, but it's all right. All these diseased leaves that are all eaten up. All right, so we did a good amount of pruning with those upward growing branches or canes. Kind of got cut up in the process as I took my gloves off. I should have known better. So now I've got the highermost branches taken care of. I can work my way back down the canopy. Wow. Had a little rose seedling that I just pulled up as I was weeding. I know that this thing is patented, but I think I can go ahead and propagate it. I mean, I'm not selling it. I'm not profiting off of it. So I'll go ahead and stick this in some compost and see what happens. All right. A little pot of compost and potting soil mix with some blooming and rooting fertilizer. Stick your hole for the plant. There we go. So I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, there was a wasp that was just testing me. Tell you, these wasps will play chicken with you until they get angry with you, and they will sting you. You know, sometimes with these roses, guys, you can tie a rose cane to another rose cane. I mean, if you got a very solid main cane that's sturdy enough, it's not always advisable, but you could actually tie a rose cane to another rose cane. So I'll do that with this one here, because I would love to see at this level, at eye level, I'd like to catch those blooms on that cane. All right, let's get these cone flowers cut down, unfortunately. We still got enough summer for these coneflowers to reflush. So that'll be a pretty underlayer. I'm sure the pollinators don't appreciate it though, me cutting down these coneflowers, but hey. This is what I mean by dead, damaged, and diseased. If you guys didn't catch it earlier, you can see the tips of these branches are brown. That's pretty much dead, so you want to go ahead and cut that off. In addition to that, this branch right here has a lot of reddish brown spots. That to me indicates some form of disease. And the spots rather are on the back of these leaves. So that's not a good thing. Am I going to take care of any systemic issues with the plant? No. But you want to minimize as much as you can by taking out anything that's suspect. So like that. That's clearly dead or diseased or damaged. All three. 3 Ds. So I've got laterals on my laterals. That's crazy. Get a lot of airflow in here. Get this rose back to prime condition here. So these roses are very resilient. They're regenerative, okay? Look at this. This is a perfectly fresh, brand new shoot. That tells you the quality of a David Austin rose. I mean, it rejuvenates itself. It sees that it's being neglected, so it handles business itself, takes care of itself. So as bad as I treated her, as bad as I've treated the generous gardener, I'm not too worried. All right, so this can be propagated as well. I can go ahead and, as close to the most tender growth as possible, I can cut it right there, remove the lower leaves, okay. Wow, I mean, there's no aphids or anything on it. Remove most of these leaves. Okay, remove that. Yep. Come up a little higher. Cut at a diagonal. Stick this in some compost, just like I did the little seedling, and see what happens. Actually, I'll just stick them both in the same pot. Yeah, let's just keep it simple. Let's just stick them both in the same pot. All right, so I'll put a baggie over that, keep it moist, and see if we get both of them to root. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to hack this back. Because it is crossing in a big way with the direction that I'd like this rose to go. So it's got to come off. See, right here is an example of a damaged cane. A lot of rubbing and abrasion right here. It has bug damage. I don't see any boring, but it is a lot of abrasion going on right there. And that's an opportunity for pests to get in there and diseases. So take it off. All right, guys, so I just had a wasp get very close to stinging me. So in respect for their territory, I'm gonna let them go ahead and finish eating, and things will calm down later on in the evening. And I don't know, probably around 7-ish, probably even 8 o'clock, I'll come back here and wrap up the pruning of this rose. So it's 1 p.m. the following day, and it's been raining nonstop since I paused the video yesterday. So we're talking a good 12 to 16 hours of rain nonstop. So I'll have to pick this up whenever Mother Nature permits. See you guys for round 2.